Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Diverse Talks. My name is Ria Renouf, and I'm your host. And here with me today is Alex Sangha from SHER Vancouver.
Thanks for having me.
We're so happy to have you. I'm going to read a bit of a bio about you before we get started.
Sure.
So you're an award-winning social worker, filmmaker, counselor, and community advocate. Alex is also the founder of SHER Vancouver, a nonprofit society for LGBTQ South Asians and friends, which is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. Congratulations.
It's actually, we're turning 18.
18. So we've rounded up a little bit.
We will get to 20 eventually.
We're celebrating 20 early. So there we go. Now, also, SHER is also a partner of Diversity, delivering services to LGBTQ refugee claimants through the Safe Haven program. And you also won an award this year. So congratulations.
Yes, with Diversity, I got an award.
That's right. It's the Strengthening Safety Award. So big congratulations on that as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. So let's just jump right into it. We're almost at 20 years of SHER Vancouver. What inspired you to start it?
Well, actually, there was a lot of people in my community who were alienated, they were isolated, they were lonely, they were depressed, and they were suicidal, just like me. And when I grew up in Surrey Newton, there was no gay-straight alliances, there were no apps for me, there was no support, there was no education. I was very, very much suicidal. I had internalized homophobia. I really hated myself for being gay because I thought I was abnormal and I was something wrong with me. I didn't see myself represented as a person of color and queer in the media, and even the mainstream queer community that was represented was stereotyped. And I wanted to create safe spaces for other queer people of color and the queer community at large, and to make sure that they are safe.
So important. And what's inspired you to keep going?
You know, all the people that go through SHER Vancouver, and they are so grateful for the support that we're providing. We've had people who have met the love of their life. We have people who have brought their parents in. We have done podcasts. We have released films. We provide free counseling. We do outreach in the community and talking about bullying and racism, and we're really seeing the feedback. I had I went into a classroom in North Delta once to talk about bullying and racism and the need to create safe spaces and to remove homophobia and transphobia in the schools. And the student that was in the class wrote to me many years later. She's saying she had an interview for medical school. And they asked her in the interview, what was one thing that changed your mind about something? She said, well, there was this tall, gay, brown guy who came to my class talking about why it's important to create safe spaces for people at risk, such as, people of color who are queer. And he was so passionate about what he was talking about that he really convinced me that as a professional, I have to ensure that we provide for that community. So that's what she says. So that's just one example.
So important, and just the impression that you left.
Yeah.
You obviously do a lot of work. SHER Vancouver does a lot of work with folks who are facing a variety of barriers. So what are some of the unique challenges that you've seen folks face, and how to SHER support their well-being and safety? I know there's a connection with the Safe Haven program here at Diversity.
Yeah, well, people in the South Asian community, especially in my community that I'm most familiar with, the Punjabi Sikh community, there's a lot of pressure on people to get married, to have children, to carry on the family name, to not shame the community, to kind of fit in. And when you're queer and you have a boyfriend and you're not going to have a traditional marriage, I mean, if you watch the last film that SHER Vancouver made, Emergence of the Shadows, it was about a young international student from Punjab. When his family found out that he was queer, they disowned him. The whole family disowned him. This is happening in our community. He was at a college in Vancouver. So this is the risk that our community faces, people in our community, when they come out, when they talk about their sexuality or their gender identity, and they get, this is why so many people are forced into marriages. They're forced into marriages because they're so afraid of rejection, hurting their parents, that they end up marrying someone just for the sake of marriage, even though they're not emotionally attached or in love with their partner. So those are just some of the issues that we have to deal with, which we're trying to navigate. The other issue is there's intersectional layers of discrimination, not only within the South Asian community, within your religion, within your culture, and then in the broader community, we are dealing with discrimination. So we are discriminated not only for being LGBTQ, but also for being South Asian. And then also, nowadays it's a constant battle. There's so much anti-trans hate, anti-drag queen story time. There's anti-LGBTQ curriculum in the schools, which is under attack. There's just so much hatred for people that just want to be who they are and just be accepted for how God created them.
What's it been like working with Safe Haven on initiatives related to this?
Safe Haven has been a great program, and a partnership with DIVERSEcity. It has allowed us to develop an integrated service delivery model. People come in through an intake process, and we do a risk assessment, a mental health risk assessment, to see if they're at risk. If they are, we quickly get them into free crisis counseling with master's level counselors through our partner, No Fear Counseling, with no wait lists. They have over 200 master's level counselors throughout Metro Vancouver. Some of the counseling is referred back to DIVERSEcity, and a registered clinical social worker, a clinical counselor, and a registered nurse do the screening. And then we refer them to our outreach program, and they do an orientation, and they get referred to one of our peer support groups. We have Queer in Color for youth, we have Share Lotus for women, and we have the Dostu Project for young adults. And it attracts a lot of newcomers, international students, refugees, asylum seekers, people of color, queer, racialized people who are very vulnerable, very much at risk. These services are really, really lacking and are not available anywhere else, really. And so we are very grateful for DIVERSEcity and the Safe Haven program and the government of British Columbia who funds this.
I love that there's different groups. Like, it's not just like one group. Like, it sounds like there's like a youth.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like, it's very, I think it's really important to highlight just how multifaceted this issue is.
Yeah, we need to provide safe spaces for young people, for women, for people that are a little bit older. We found they have different needs, and they need to make sure their voices are heard within the spaces we create for them.
You definitely have talked a bit about your lived experience. I appreciate you being so open about it. What was it like, being in that space, being a newcomer, and some of the experiences that you've had? It's
been challenging to come out of the closet for me. I've dealt with a lot of internalized racism. I tried to date women. I've tried to, I went to see a psychiatrist to try to become straight. I've done everything under the sun. And then, I finally had a kind of like an epiphany. I had a type of spiritual experience where, I realized that God loves everyone. We are all God's children. And you should not have to suffer anymore. God does not want his children to suffer. And once I realized that was the beginning of my mission to help others. You're so well spoken. And I also want to sort of give a bit of a nod to your shirt, because I see that it says SHER Pride Film Festival. So it sounds like storytelling is also a big part of your life. Yes. I'm curious about the shirt. So are you able to talk to me about that? Well, the SHER Pride Film Festival is going to our third year next April. It's going to be opening in the pre-launch at the North Delta Center for the Arts. And then we're having 2 days at Landmark Cinemas Guildford. We're a human rights and social justice film festival, which aligns with my social work values. We have a lot of wonderful things. We have panel discussions. We have an open mic pitch session. We have a networking reception. We have filmmakers coming from all over the world, actually, now. We're already an IMDb qualifying festival in our third year, which usually takes 5 years to get that status. And then also we are, I think last year we had 58 official partners, supporters, and CBC was our exclusive media partner. And we had every level of government supporting us. So we are putting underrepresented voices, women's voices, queer voices, people in Surrey, Delta, filmmakers in the area. We're giving them an opportunity to shine, where we have a BC section, we have a student section. We have a youth jury to teach them how to rate films and review films. And we are providing an opportunity for the best of social justice and human rights films from around the world to be showcased here in Surrey and Delta, and to put Surrey Delta on the map.
Storytelling is such a great way to not only just explain a situation, but it can also be like a release for people too.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know, in terms of like storytelling in your life and how that's impacted you, like how do you, why is it such an important tool for us to have?
Well, you know, January Marie Lapuz, in September 2012, she was transgender Filipino woman. She was a social coordinator at SHER Vancouver. She was brutally murdered, stabbed 18 times in her own home. And it was shocking to us. And we wanted to share her story. We created a memorial and a eulogy. We created a short film about 27 minutes. Two women of color from Kuala Lumpur Polytechnic University journalism program created the film. Anyways, people told us to send the film to festivals. I thought they were joking. So we sent it to festivals, and it won 16 awards and went to 66 festivals. It was broadcast across Canada, and it qualified to enter the Canadian Screen Awards for Best Short Documentary. I was like, wow, this is the way to have impact through media. So what you're doing with the podcast, you know, also with festivals and with film, you know, you can really get a social justice message out to the world. And so many thousands of people have viewed this film online, on YouTube, on our website. And that was the reason we made the story of Caden for Emergence Out of the Shadows, her second film about the young man who came out and was disowned by everyone. And you find out in the story, is he deported as an international student after what happened to him, or does he stay in Canada, or what is the story for Caden? So it's quite a very interesting movie. It went to Academy Award festivals. It went to BAFTA festivals, Canadian Screen Award. It was broadcast on Knowledge Network, TV Ontario, Out TV. It was also translated into Hindi, Punjabi, French, English, and there was nearly 60 screenings of this documentary, Emergence on the Shadows, in Metro Vancouver alone at schools.
That reach then is incredible.
Just in schools. And every September when the teachers go back to school, they always ask us, can we show your film? Can we show your film to the students? And we just make it freely available. And we have a teacher's discussion guide now. So teachers can just create their own learning plans and show the film, and we make it freely available for the students.
And I'm so curious to know what you think might be next in your journey. So, you know, as a change maker, somebody who like loves and creates film, is part of that world. Like, what do you see? What's next for you?
Well, we have a feature film coming out probably in about a year's time. It's called I Migrant. And I Migrant is about the journey of immigrants from different parts of India to different parts of Canada. So we actually traveled to India for 6 months, and we filmed and followed 3 or 4 people in Chandigarh, in Punjab, in Mumbai, in Kerala. And now some of them are in Canada.
Oh, wow.
We've been to Toronto, we've been to Surrey, we've been to Vancouver, and we're following their journey. So we're watching these immigrants travel, and we're watching these immigrants journey from India to Canada. What are their expectations before they arrive here, and what happens to them when they're here? So we're capturing that as it's happening in real time.
So that's a lot of, you know, documenting. There's a lot of editing, but then again, like the magic of, you know, being able to find the narrative and get people to understand, like, this is a huge story. This is a big deal.
And it was funded by major film funders. You know, I made 2 films now, and I'm finally getting funding from Telefilm Canada and Creative BC and one more major Canada Council for the Arts. And we're getting funding from major film funders now. They're taking us seriously as filmmakers, because we've had, you know, significant success with our first 2 documentaries. So now it's easier to get money.
Oh, I love that. I love that. You know, the change, just the hard work and the change making and just the passion that you have. Like, it's paying off.
And we're trying to open doors for other filmmakers in the SHER Pride Film Festival. The shirt that I'm wearing, we have a mentorship program, and we are accepting new mentors and mentees to apply. And you just go online to our website, and all the information is there. And we love to have local filmmakers from the area to apply, and we teach them everything that they need to know about filmmaking.
Now, if there is, just as we're wrapping up here, if there's one thing you'd like to leave our DIVERSEtalks audience with, what would that be?
Well, I have two mottos in life, and I'm going to share my motto. My first motto is, everything is possible if we work together. And, thank you for Diversity to partner with us and to help us deliver the Safe Haven program, and for Neelam to supporting us and writing us letters of support when we ask to help us get grant funding. And my second motto is, if everyone just mentors one person in the world, just one person, then the whole world can be empowered. So those are my two mottos.
Those are amazing. Those are really great pieces of advice and mottos. Thank you so much for sharing your insights today with us, Alex, and your story. And I know it takes a lot for some folks to open up, but I just appreciate how open you've been and how it just proves like change making that you do. We're really grateful.
Thank you so much, Ria. Nice to be here.
Yeah, we're so happy that you came.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of DIVERSEtalks, and we will see you in the next one.